Hello everyone, it's voiceover me, and we're not in F124, we're in an unspecified video thing. Alright, so today we're going to be seeing what the best Formula 1 track is. Now you might be realising that we've only got 12 teams on here. That's because we split the calendar in half, but we've randomised the tracks. We've also got we've got 4 groups: Group 1, Group 2, Group 3 and Group 4. Each one of these groups have been randomised using a very high powered AI generator called Wheel of Names. You might have heard of it. So we'll be focusing on Group 1 today, which consists of Suzuka, Silverstone and Royal Albert Park in Melbourne. We've got Tier 1, Tier 2 and Tier 3, as well as the bin tier. So, the bin tier is for the tracks that I don't want to give on the podium at all. Like I said there, Melbourne can go in the bin. I didn't actually put Melbourne in the bin. Don't know if I mentioned this is a voice over me. Turns out the volume on the editing software I'm using is better than the voice recording. So as you can see here, we are now in F124. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go into F1 World. Hold on, we're going into F1 World. Then we are going to go into play. Then over to time trials. And just to make it fair, we're just going to use the same car for each group. So we're just going to be using the McLaren, as I do support McLaren. So the first one was Suzuka in Japan, so we're going to be heading in there. So pre-race thoughts to Suzuka. I do not like it. I do not like Suzuka. I think the main straight is too narrow. I know it's not narrow. I know it's got to be minimum 12 meters in width. I just don't like Suzuka. The first part, it will become clear. The first part is very tricky for me. There are multiple. I just find that there's not enough corner variation. Also, if you do see the ghost car, just ignore that. If I do go outside track limits, we're going to ignore the invalid track times, as I'm not taking them into consideration. But you saw in the first 2 corners, I did really struggle there. I did go off track limits. And I just find it really hard to follow that racing line. But taking that, I don't like that curve there because I always turn too early, go over the curve, and it really slows me down. Gone under the bridge into the corner, and yeah, you saw before I entered that corner, I did go onto the grass. That's because I found it way too fast. Going into this corner, I mean, that's alright, but that corner there, the curve is way too high, and again, it's not another one of those curves that I usually run over. Going down into this corner, I think this is one of my strongest parts. I could go on the racing line just a little bit more. Going into this chicane, I'm not too confident on it. I just find it quite tough. So from this first lap, awful. Just don't like it. We are going to be doing 2 laps of each track in this series, just to make it fair, so every track has an even chance. So if I do mess up in one lap, I'll have another chance at it. going into there, I'm following the blue racing line, which you don't want to do because that's your personal best. But yeah, I found there's either high speed corners or low speed corners. There's not really. I mean, I can think of that one, and then like the big turn. I don't even know if you can call it a turn, to be honest. Yeah, I mean this bit here, I think you can probably call it a turn. Yeah, it's a turn. There's just like not much corner variation. Didn't go over the curb there, which was good. Didn't slow us down. Going into this straight here. Pretty good. Pretty good following the racing line. That's what I mean. I need to follow it more there. Just realised this. I think this might turn into a lot of race analysis. Going into the final corner here. Finishing the race off pretty nicely. Right, we're back in the main menu, and it is Silverstone up next in the McLaren. Let's find Silverstone. It's there. Silverstone, it is my home race. So I try not to be biased at all. And I mean, Silverstone is an alright track. I would say it's probably one of my favourites. Like I would love to go visit Silverstone one day. Hopefully see a race. There are a few corners in here, like that one, although I didn't go over the curb there, that I do find a little bit tricky. As you can see, somehow I left the track. Don't think I did. So I think this got a great variation of corners. Great high speed corners, great medium speed corners, great low speed corners, as you saw there. Good. And it's one of those tracks where there are some corners where you get punished for your mistakes. And then it's also it's only in certain parts. So like going around there, it's quite easy to follow the racing line. Going around here, yeah, it's fine. You just go off the racing line, but like not by much. Going down here, it's fine. Great corner variation here. I think we're entering Maggots and Baggots here. Good coasting. Following the racing line. It's fine. Then going down, I'm gonna call it the Wellington Straight. I'm not sure if that's its name. Probably isn't. Could be referring to a different straight. Yeah, it's a good track. Don't get me wrong. It's a great track and very historic. Gone over the curb there and there. I would like it if some of the curbs could be lowered. Again, this is the way we're ranking this is by the ability that I can race on it, and also my personal opinion. There are a few tracks in the groups that I like equally. So yeah, those are going to be the tough ones, but then if I like a track equally, it will go down to my racing ability on that track, which is very low. I do not have great racing ability, I'm going to be honest. Like you can see there, I should not have gone off the track. But for some reason I just decided to turn early and may go into the wall, may not go into the wall. It's basically just a gamble. Going into Maggots and Beckett's, quite nice. Going down into Wellington Straight. Again, I might not be calling it the right thing. Who knows? Could be the Wellington Straight in my eyes. Gone off the racing line big time here. Gonna need a good there, go over the curb there, and yeah. Going down the main straight, finish. Back to the main menu for one last race. We are going to be in the McLaren for Melbourne. Almost went into Suzuka there. So Melbourne, don't really acknowledge it, to be honest. I know it's the season opener. It's a good track. Sector 2 is probably one of my favourite sectors. I don't know why, it's just high speed, and I like high speed. We're not going to look at this mistake here though, because that was embarrassing. I said my racing ability isn't great for Silverstone, so don't know why I'm surprised there. Going into the first corner, low speed, and then straight into high speed. Good corner variation there, big approval from me. Going into a sharp right-hander into a chicane. The exit was very nice. Almost went into the wall there. Another right-hander, slightly softer there. Very nice. This is probably one of my favourite parts of the track. Just the high speed part down the road. Very nice. I like this chicane. This is probably one of my favourite corners in the entirety of F1. This part, going into sector 3, I'm not confident. 90-degree right-hander, almost went over the curb. Well, I did go over the curb, not fully though. Alright round there. Going into the last chicane of the track, it's going alright. I take that corner very well actually, I did, didn't I? Wow, I'm surprised at my own racing ability. I've already said that, haven't I? I don't know if I said that. I'm massively overthinking. Again, going into that turn 1 and 2. Good variation. The sharp right-hander into the chicane, gone over the curb there, and barely went over there. Don't hit the wall that time, which is very good, although somehow I left the track, don't know where. Going into the sector 2 part, I do like this road very, very much. I think this is probably one of my favourite street circuits, I think. I like that, I've already said that, but I do like that chicane there. Going to the last sector, sector 3, sharp 90-degree turn, over the curve there, almost went into the gravel trap. Medium speed corner there, very nice. Low speed corner, and the final corner, high speed. Right, across the finish line. So it's an alright track. Now, for the rankings. This is the part where I've got to try and remember what I did. So, I'm just going to commentate on what my cursor did. So, these are three good tracks. Like, don't get me wrong, but we don't have any going into the bin today, which is good because I can't remember if I did. I'm assuming we didn't. Right, me doing that, I think, is me saying I didn't put any in there. So I think we're starting off with third place, and it's Suzuka. Yeah, I get it. It's I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. I'm just not. My racing ability wasn't great, and it was just tough. It was alright. Now, I think we're doing first place, then second place. Can't remember. Looks like it. Moving, and it is Melbourne going into second place, and finally Silverstone up into first place. Melbourne, yeah, it's one of my, it's a good track, yeah, but it's just, I feel like Sector 2 is like the only good part for me, and Silverstone, it's a home race, you know. Got to get rid of the bin real quick. It's a home race. It's got good corner variation. It's high speed, low speed. There's straights, Maggots and Beckett's is very fun to do. The first bit is brilliant with the mix between the high speed and low speed corners. Then into the straight, round a couple corners, a hairpin. I don't think it's really a hairpin, but that's fun. Maggots and Beckett's is great, and the last chicane is fine. You just need to time right. So yeah, that's my first place. It was close between Silverstone and Melbourne. So in the next episode of this, we've got Group 2, which consists of Spain, Spa-Francorchamps and Las Vegas. Alright, thank you all for watching the first episode of what my favourite F1 track is. And I shall catch you in the next episode. See ya.